Ladies and gentlemen, as the feminists in developing countries, this house used to implement pink tax for products. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as the people think that pink tax product is a gender discrimination practice, we believe as a feminist movement or of this proposition team, we believe that it is not a kind of discrimination itself, and that's why we propose to the motion today, ladies and gentlemen. Before going to the argument, first we are going to bring about our point of setup. First, as we talk about the feminists that has the movement to fight against the women's rights, we believe that both the proposition teams and opposition teams have to provide first why is it okay as the feminists to implement the pink tax for the product itself, and then the second how first why is it okay to implement pink tax product, and then the second how implementing pink tax product itself wouldn't be a backfire to the interest of the feminist itself. The second is the product here means is about the cosmetics that commonly used by women and also for the uh, uh, women's and men's and that use in their body in a way to take care of their body itself. Okay, let's moving to our point of arguments. First, about why is it okay to implement, or why uh, pink tax is an okay things to do. Okay, first, as the people think that maybe pink tax product may be a kind of discrimination, again we believe that it is not, ladies and gentlemen. No, it, ladies and gentlemen, that a feminine kind of cosmetics itself will always have kind much more of something than what in the men's products do, ladies and gentlemen. Why is that, ladies and gentlemen? As we know that the characterization of men itself, that um, they are in the way of cosmetics, they are very sensitive. That they are sensitive kind of being, that even a small kind of maybe something bad would be can bring a big effect to itself. That's why when dealing with some kind of cosmetics itself, it will need more effort, it will need more time to create a suited or a best cosmetics for the woman itself to do to use by them, ladies and gentlemen. It's maybe such as choosing the right ingredients, or maybe choosing the best method to make sure that the cosmetic itself are completely safe to use for the women's, ladies and gentlemen. It means that all of that, it is worth of more money to the woman's cosmetic itself, because uh, on the men's cosmetic itself, it doesn't really necessary like that, because men's cosmetic, uh, we don't say that men's cosmetic are maybe uh, clear to be unsafe or something like that, but it is more lower, has need just need lower efforts than the woman's cosmetic itself. That's why it is worth the money, it is worth the price for a woman's cosmetic itself to be more pricey, more expensive than the men's itself. So there is nothing wrong with the pink tax itself compared, ladies and gentlemen, to the other side of the house, where when they didn't apply for the pink tax itself, like they want the woman's cosmetics maybe to be more cheap, to be more unpriceable, to be more easy to buy for the woman itself. It means with that happen, it will need the company, it will need the company of who make the products itself have to cut their money in way to making the product itself, and it will be a significantly cut in way of significantly cut more money, ladies and gentlemen, that it can lead to a bad or lower quality of the cosmetic itself, and maybe it will reduce the safety of the cosmetic itself for the women to use. And what do we happen to be in here as the proposition team as well as the feminists? We don't want to the woman to get anything bad from the bad cosmetics itself, so that's why it is okay to implement the pink tax, because it is worth the effort to make the product for the women. Moving to the second argument. why implementing this tax, pink tax regulation wouldn't cause any big fire to the feminist movement itself. As we said before, that the price of the cosmetic nowadays is what equalities that pink tax is also happening in the status quo right now. We said that it is worth of the qualities itself. We as the feminists, we have always to find the best for the women. We have to fight to get the women to get the best thing that they can get. So we want to get themselves a cosmetics without worrying about maybe the safety of the product, so they can use it freely to uh, apply to themselves. They don't need to care anymore about the safety itself, and that's what we're doing here. Let's take a look at the other side of the house itself, that they just want to ignore the maybe qualities of the cosmetic itself that used by the women. It means that uh, what they wish is more being more contradictive in their side. Because why? Because as the feminists, this should has to ensure the women's to get the best thing that they can get. They instead ignore the woman's safety by just not implementing the Pintex products, because as we said before. And I think what will happen, ladies and gentlemen, when there is no and let's take a look at the status quo right now, ladies and gentlemen, that even with the pink text product is happening on the status quo right now, there are still some unsafe or unsafe cosmetics that distributed because of companies try to make cheap products because of they want to get more money. And think what will happen if there are no pink tax, that this will cause a more company to cut their money of making the product and make the product more cheap. But this concerning about Ducalis itself, it will be a really bad, because it will be cause a big damage to the woman itself. It will not right for the woman itself. Think that it will happen, ladies and gentlemen, where is and that what will happen when there is no pink text would happen, ladies and gentlemen. So we think that it is better and in our side to implement the pink text, as if it's to ensure women's product and safety, and also it is a work together with the way of the feminists itself, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why we proud to propose. Thank you.